This snapshot totally has a lot in store. In my previous video, we talked about the whole new cherry blossom biome, and as we move on to the snapshots, we are about to go over archaeology. Now, before we start off discussing archaeology, there is one note I think that's important to make, and that is Minecraft has actually teased the idea of introducing archaeology back during the Caves and Cliffs update. So, if you ever seen footage of that archaeology potential update, it's definitely a bit different. So for right now in this snapshot, this is the current motion where archaeology is going. So if you've already seen that footage, just know it is still a work in progress. And if anything, from what I've seen with archaeology in the game, I honestly think it's pretty fascinating. And I think you guys might actually enjoy this one too. So when it comes to the new Minecraft snapshot, you might be noticing this new texture of sand. This isn't any normal sand. It looks similar to sand, it behaves like sand, but there's a slightly different texture. And no, it's not anything like a quicksand, which looking at it, I feel like it could pretty much pass as like a quicksand texture, but no, this is suspicious sand. Now you might be thinking to yourself, how exactly do you work with suspicious sand? And I'm glad you've probably asked that question, because the answer to that is inside of this chest. If you use 3 pieces of string and 2 sticks, you can make yourself a brush. And with this brush, you're able to dig away at the suspicious sand for it to turn into regular sand. Now the thing is, I didn't realize this when setting it up, but when you scoop out suspicious sand, when you placed it down in creative, there's actually nothing inside the sand. Instead, you'll just turn it into regular sand. But inside of suspicious sand, there might be a set amount of items, and we're about to go through that. So, if you find suspicious sand in a pyramid, you have a chance of either finding items like TNT, gunpowder, pottery shards, emeralds, or diamonds. But if you also find suspicious sand, say in found, I think I tried. Oh yeah, I can't believe I messed up my own reading. But if you discover wells in desert biomes and you also come across suspicious sand, then you are likely to find bricks, sticks, pottery shards, emeralds, or a suspicious stew. Now, you may be wondering exactly what exactly is a pottery shard. The whole thing about a pottery shard is that if you have 4 different shards, you can use it to make a pot. So for instance, if you assemble 4 of these skull shards in this exact pattern, then you can get yourself a decorated pot in the decoration of said skulls. When you do find suspicious sand, as mentioned in this list, whenever you find a suspicious shard, you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting 4 separate patterns. There is no pattern rarer or more unique compared to the other ones. But say if maybe you're not a big fan of wanting to get a decorated pot, you can actually craft your own pot by assembling 4 bricks in this same pattern, and then you get a plain decorated pot. But if you want to get a bit snazzy when it comes to the types of shards that you could find in suspicious sand, you actually don't have to use 4 of the same shards to make a pot, because there are custom options for pots. You could, I forgot to put the thing there. Well, I have it later on. So if you have 3 regular bricks and a pottery shard, that means one of the 4 sides will have a design of that shard. And I've placed example pots right over here. So here's the normal pot that you can craft with 4 bricks. There is no decoration on any of the sides. It is just a plain pot. But if you use 1 pottery shard and the 3 bricks, it'll look like this. So only one side will have the fancy decoration. But if you want to use all 4 shards, all 4 sides of the pot will have the decoration. And also, you can put in multiple different style pottery shards. So maybe you have like a skull right here or a bow and arrow right there. Really, they give you plenty of custom options when throwing together the pots. I also want to throw this in because I thought this was actually kind of a funny detail. If you want to pick up your pot, you can just punch it and the pot will drop. But if you have a tool in your hand, instead of it dropping a pot, you get your pieces back. I'm not sure if they're planning on keeping this detail in the final update, but I just thought that would have been an interesting detail to share. Now, earlier in the video, I have mentioned that you can find suspicious sand in the desert wells along the desert biome. Now, I could demonstrate how that would work, but really you just find mistextured sand inside the well, and that's not really anything important to really discuss. If you find sand that looks like that, then might as well pull out your brush and start trying to get any of the goods inside. The real treasure is what is inside the desert pyramid. Good thing I packed some torches with me since it's getting dark outside. So you see, I think it's fair to say at this point, many of us knows the whole gist with the desert pyramids. You go into the center, obviously you don't want to drop in through the center block to activate the TNT, but there is treasure in that room. But, as a part of this update, a secret room is added to desert temples. I realize I didn't properly finish setting myself up here. So now, if you were to go inside a desert temple, you want to run into the upper left corner, or upper right corner, and then you're going to find sand. Now, you're going to want to dig out this sand, because the big deal about this is there is a hidden room now underneath the desert temple. And after you dig for a while, you should eventually stumble across some more suspicious sand. And as you can see the staircase, you know you're making your way to the right spot, and we just naturally happen to come across some suspicious sand. So what exactly is the first thing to come out? And surprise, surprise, we found ourselves an emerald. This is honestly my first time also trying to explore this room, so I'm actually curious to see how much treasure we're going to find in this desert temple. Alright, man, we got 3 more. One detail I think that's kind of funny to point out, if you start brushing away at suspicious sand and an item sticks out, as soon as you stop, hold on, the item just gets sucked right back in. I don't know, I just thought that was a funny detail. But out comes emerald number 2. Looks like we got a pottery shard. Oh, I love it's the skull one. That one seems to be my favorite. And some TNT. Alright, but here, let's keep digging. Is there anything else in here? Oh, wait. I almost missed that. I almost thought that was sandstone, and good thing I found it. Listen, if there's more ways to find diamonds, then the more ways that I get happy. Alright, it seems like... do these actually continue off? Okay, no, it looks like... this is where this hidden room ends. Is there anything under here? Aw, that would have been nice. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. As you can see, a whole new room in the desert temples. If anything too, if they actually do expand more on archaeology, I think it would genuinely be cool if we could see more structures have hidden rooms like that. Like, I don't remember the last time Minecraft really acknowledged the jungle temple, but I feel like if they want to expand on the temple more in the future, I feel like if you add like a suspicious dirt and a secret room in there, I think that would be fun too. Because honestly, like, the desert temples are cool, but it just became a lot better now that they added the secret room. And also, with all that, we were able to find 2 emeralds, 1 pottery shard, 1 block of TNT, and 1 diamond. But I think before we end off here, I'm actually genuinely curious. How many things would you be able to find out of a desert well? I've been looking all throughout the desert, and I cannot seem to find your desert well. This is the only well I can find, and I've found 3 villages, and not one had a speck of suspicious sand. But if you can find a well just in the middle of the desert, that's the well I'm referring to. I have tried looking for commands to see if I could find that well, but no matter what I type in, it doesn't seem to be listed under the locate command. So you're just gonna have to take my word for it. I just realized too, if you ever do find suspicious sand, when you break sand, it makes a sandy sound, but every time you break suspicious sand, sounds like glass. I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit. But yeah, that's archaeology in Minecraft. I think it's pretty neat that they're adding it to the game, because I actually thought they were going to backtrack from it and never even acknowledge it again. But as we could see, they're definitely interested in adding it into the game, and I'm really glad that they made this decision. This part of the snapshot video was only here to talk about archaeology, but if you are interested, linked in the description down below, I'm going to talk about the new cherry blossom biomes and the introduction of the new Minecraft mob, the Sniffer. But until then, I'm going to end it off here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you found this video informative, and until then, I hope to see you guys next time.